My name is Isabella Posacher, and the topic of my research is effects of music in the brain. The goal of this research is to understand and explain the positive effects music has on human beings. It may not be thought, but music has a lot of positive advantages in the brain and in the psychological um, spectrum of the humans. It helps to boost some skills and some abilities, and it also helps the brain to work better, and also it shows that the human body reacts to music. Also, how is it affected and what are the factors that make that possible? All my life, I've had a very big interest in music because I played piano and guitar and I like a lot of music. I think it is very special, so I was very curious about what may be the effect that music had on the human beings. Before I did the research, I didn't thought that it may have such amazing effects on the brain and on the body. But as I developed my research, it was very amazing the information that you could find. Also, before the research, I had heard that music helps boost creativity and intellectual, but I wasn't certain if that was true or not. So, when we had the opportunity to make this project, I thought about this topic because I think it is very interesting and that I could learn a lot from this. The method that I used to recollect data was theoretical. It means that I had to search on the internet or in books or in magazines any article that was that had information about my topic and that could let me know more about the effects music has on the brain, on creativity, and in the body. Using this information, I could develop all my research and understand and learn all the effects music has on the human beings. For example, I could learn things that I didn't knew before, and I could also explain this to my classmates and to a better understanding for myself. The key points that I will talk over in this presentation that made a bigger impact on my research and that were like the main findings are how music affects people's personalities, also how it helps to boost creativity and intellectual development, also how it helps with learning skills and abilities, how it affects the brain, and some health advantages that we weren't like conscious that music had on us. One of the main findings in my research is that music affects people's personalities. It has an impact on the development of each human being, and it can make them like more introvert or more timid or shy or happier, etc. Also, the personalities between people that practice music and people that don't practice music can vary a lot, and their responses are very different to music. Also, there is a different behavior between people that play certain instrument, for example, violin, and someone who plays guitar. Their personalities are very different. One is more introvert, the other is like more disorganized, more extrovert, and things like that. In addition, someone who plays music or listens music, the cerebral cortex restructures in response to the external environment. And if this external environment is like music and sounds that are melodic, it can help restructure the cerebral cortex. Another finding in my research is that music helps to boost creativity and the intellectual development. This can be evident when children practice music when they're very little and they develop a better creative thinking than the other children. Also, it has shown that it has a positive effect on the IQ score. The IQ score is not very dramatical in change, but it has been shown by scientists that it does show a little increase compared to others that don't practice music. Also, there is a different behavior between people that practice and the ones that don't practice music. Um, as well, has been shown that music can improve developing cognitive capacities such as writing, reading, and spelling. As well, music helps to develop spatial skills since they have to locate the fingers, for example, in the piano, and they have to touch them without looking, or for example, when they play the guitar and they have to place their fingers on the strings. As mentioned before, it helps with literacy skills such as writing and reading, and because of the reading the partitures and also understanding the figures of music. Also, music has some health advantages. For example, music helps or makes it better for your brain because the brain is constantly restructuring because of the external environment if the external environment is music. Also, it speeds up recovery and makes it less painful. It works like anesthesia, so it reduces also pain. Also, it reduces stress. If someone is very stressed, they can like expose that stress um, with music. They can go play piano, they can go listen to music, or play an instrument or sing, whatever. It helps to reduce stress. Also, it improves heart health because the pressure in the arteries lessens. Okay, so which difficulties did I had to go through in order to finish my research properly? So, finding reliable sources was one of my difficulties because I could find an article that said a lot of things, but I didn't know if those things were true or not. It can be like an article that can be edited by many people or like they post just to make marketing, some things like that. So I don't know if I can trust or not that source. Also, the dates in the sources that I found, sometimes they were very old and maybe medicine has gone further than what it says there, so it doesn't work because that information is not like new enough and it can have it its flaws. Also, the language in my research or in the information that I found sometimes was very technical since it has medical language, and I had some trouble to understand that and to paraphrase and to do everything like that. Why is it important to know this about music? Or why is it important to research about this? Because people is used to be very naive and like to believe everything that people say around. And sometimes people don't recognize like all the benefits that music has, and it is more than it is believed commonly. It is very relevant because this way we can understand and put in practice like all these advantages music brings to us and improve our health, our body, and also our abilities. Okay, so in conclusion, like what I found and the information I found on my analysis brought is that what I thought before the research, many things of that were true and they actually have an impact on the human body. Also, I think the research was like very helpful for my knowledge and understanding of music and about the brain. As well, uh, there are like some applications because we could use this with ill patients and also with people that suffer from stress and people who want to improve their abilities.